latest edition of In Focus. I'm your host, Amanda Morosic. Our guest today is not only a big advocate for art and community, he is actively pursuing the change our community needs to make art and culture available to all. In 6 years, he has more than quadrupled programs, memberships, and patrons while doubling the budget from $430,000 to $1,100,000 in the worst economy since the Great Depression. Talking with us about the Muckenthaler Teen Art Center in Placentia, California, I'd like to welcome our guest, Zoot Velasco.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Hi. So, can you tell us about yourself?
Yes, first of all, I have to tell you that I don't ever have this hairstyle or facial hair. I grew it only for today, and today is our 50th anniversary celebration at the Muckenthaler, and we're doing everything on a 60s theme. So I had to do my hair and grow 60s facial hair, but if you saw me any other day, I'd be clean shaven. So it figures the one day I'm wearing this is the day that I'm on your television show. Yeah, I run the Muckenthaler Cultural Center. I'm the Chief Executive Officer, and we are a 1924 historic registry building on 8.5 acres in Fullerton, and we also run about 70 outreach programs in 11 cities in North Orange County. We're the only cultural center in North Orange County.
What first got you involved with community service?
I actually started as an artist. I was a professional break dancer when I started, and I did that for 12 years. I worked as a mime, a swing dancer, break dancer, a storyteller. I was a Screen Actors Guild actor, worked in films and television, and after 12 years of that, my day job was teaching theater, which I did in schools, prisons, and juvenile halls, and I actually enjoyed my day job more than I enjoyed working in the film industry. So I quit and became a full-time arts administrator, and my first job was running a prison art program. I did that for 6 years, and then I ran all of the art centers in the harbor area of LA for a number of years, and I built 4 new art centers there. I built a theater in Long Beach, and I just went around kind of working in different programs that were broken and fixing them. And then I came here to the Muck 8 years ago.
How is your art program different from other art programs that you have been involved with?
So the Muckenthaler is doing some pretty innovative things right now. One of the things that we're doing are the first STEAM programs in Orange County. So most people are familiar with STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. It's part of every school curriculum. But there was a push 2 years ago to change STEM to STEAM. And the reason is because there was a study that was done several years ago that showed that kids who are growing up through the school system today, a lot of them aren't getting the arts, and a lot of the new jobs are some combination of arts and technology. So the Department of Labor did a study that 65% of the jobs that kids that are in elementary school today are going to be doing once they graduate college haven't been invented yet. So most of those jobs are going to be some combination of technology and design or art. A lot of animation jobs, a lot of software-oriented design jobs. And so when I was a kid, people said, you know, don't go into the arts, you need a real job, and that can be your fallback position. But the fact of the matter is that the second largest employer in Orange County is arts and entertainment, and it's the #1 export from America. So a lot of the jobs from now and into the future are arts jobs, and we're not training people in the arts. Arts was taken out of the school in 1990 and has always been kind of, you know, hit and miss whether you get it in school. So there's a real push to include arts in STEM and create these STEAM programs, and we did the first ones. We have 12 STEAM programs now in 4 school districts.
Wow. So what do you enjoy the most about the Teen Art Center?
The Teen Art Center is actually our first satellite center. So our main site is in Placentia, this beautiful historic mansion, but we really wanted to work in Placentia and Anaheim because the Muckenthalers that gave us our center, it was their house, and Mrs. Muckenthaler was Adela Kramer. Her father was one of the founders of Placentia, and the Muckenthalers and the Kramers were both founders of Anaheim as well. So we have a real duty to do things within Placentia and Anaheim. And what I love about Placentia is that it's a city that needs a lot of things, and we're able to provide those things, and there's a really good symbiotic relationship. We're in Kramer Park, which is downtown Placentia. It's an area that is very close to the campus. They're going to get a new Metrolink station very soon, and we feel like it's part of our responsibility to lift up downtown Placentia and make it into a place where people want to go and feel safe. There's wonderful restaurants there. Some of the best Mexican food in North Orange County is in downtown Placentia. El Farolitos, Tlaquepaque, El Cantador. I mean, there's really great restaurants down there. And so what we're trying to do is really use the arts as a springboard to really uplift downtown Placentia, make it a place people want to go to, so that you and your friends, when they go back to their houses from Cal State, instead of going on the Metrolink from Fullerton, they'll go from Placentia, they'll use the restaurants, and that will really help revive downtown Placentia. So we're bringing in not just the Teen Arts Center, but also festivals into the park. We have a Day of the Dead festival we're doing on November 1st, and we're really trying to revive that park. It's really one of the most beautiful parks in North Orange County, and it's really underused, so we're trying to do a lot to bring that park back. And the Teen Arts Center was an empty building that was originally a American Legion Hall, and it was turned into a youth center in the 90s, and then it kind of went defunct, and it's been closed for about 10 to 15 years. And so we're bringing it back as a youth arts center, and we were able to raise about $150,000 in programming there, and everything we're doing there is free and open to the public. So any teen can go there. Any college student that's interested in teaching a specific art form can come and teach there. We're welcoming volunteers to teach anything in the arts. I used to run a similar center in Long Beach. It was a hip-hop art center called Muckenthaler Cultural Center, and we had people who were your age coming in and teaching things that they knew, and that's what we want to do here. So if somebody has DJ skills, they could come in and teach being a DJ. If somebody has dance skills, they can come in and teach dance. And we're really welcoming college students to come and teach younger teens things that they're good at. And we have a new recording studio there. We have a recording program coming in called Ritmo that's very popular in Anaheim. We're bringing them to Placentia. We're bringing in mariachis to teach mariachi. We're bringing in Ballet Folklorico, a hip-hop dance company. We have fabric artists there that are from Cal State, students that are teaching that. We have ceramics there, visual arts. It's really pretty comprehensive center, a lot of things going on, and everything is free.
Have you ever wondered how to get more involved with your community? Let's take a look inside the Muckenthaler Teen Arts Center to find out.
Let's see, I'm an artist who teaches, and this is one of the places that I teach about art. You know, a couple of years ago I had a dream to do something like this, and it just so happened that Zoot and I both kind of, I think, shared ideas about how to make something like this work, and he said, hey, you know, I've got something going on, and I said, hey, I've got ideas, and we kind of put both of the things together, and then all the staff, everybody just got involved, the city of Placentia, and it was so exciting to see the dream come alive, and to little bit by little bit see the neighborhood find us and the different families coming in, a lot of generations kind of visit at the same time, to see them actually coming in here, learning, creating, doing something different than they've ever experienced before. That has been like my joy, to see it go from a dream to reality, and you know, watch it grow.
It is really fun because we get to learn new things. I've done stuff with clay, I've sewn, painted with airbrush and just painted, and right now we're doing candles.
We put the wax in first, then we let it go around, then we put our color inside, then with a spoon we stir it. I have learned that it's a good way to learn instead of going to video games or doing stuff else. And you can create and clay what you want, like a Pokemon card or something else. And for sewing, you can create like a pillow, quilt.
All the materials you see here are donated. All of the equipment has been donated. The fact that we're even here is proof that dreams do come true. When I see the kids come in here, I hear the laughter, I see the discovery. They don't necessarily think of things the way that we do. So create. If you create, it seems as though you can figure out how to do other things in life.
So what do you think you would like to see happen to the Art Center in the future?
Well, for me, what I really want to see it be is a catalyst to bring people back downtown. You know, downtown Placentia was built on the orange industry, and there were packing houses there, and it was a very vibrant downtown. And when the orange industry went away, it fell into a slump. And it's like a lot of really great old-fashioned downtowns. All it needs is some good businesses, they have great restaurants now. It's got a lot of charm and character. And if the right people come in, I could see it being a place where hipster college students would hang out, and there could be great internet cafes there. It's really ripe for business opportunity.
Free Wi-Fi.
And I would love to see it just become a really vibrant place, and I would love that the Art Center had a hand in that. So for me, it's bigger than just providing free art classes for kids, although we're going to bring our STEAM programs there and other things. But for me, it's about really reviving a part of Placentia that needs a lot of help. And that park is such a beautiful park, and they have this amazing baseball and softball field. I know you play softball. Very few people use it other than league play. It doesn't get a lot of use. There's a great kids area there. There's the Bax building with a Boys and Girls Club in it. It really has a lot of great facilities, but the city of Placentia's had some tough times since the recession, and they don't have the programming they used to have. So we're really trying to help the city come back, and we're using Kramer Park and downtown as a springboard for that. I think that's really key to Placentia's success to come back from the recession.
Since the Placentia Art Center is so popular and it's very successful, do you see yourself opening any other centers in different communities?
Yeah, actually, we've had talks with La Habra about taking over their Depot Theater at one time. They have another tenant in there now, but they have some buildings in La Habra that they've talked to us about doing things with. We're in talks right now with the Museo, which is a museum in Anaheim, that is talking to us about helping them start their education programs, and we're already partnered with them on a grant there. So we're talking about doing some other possible art centers as outreach sites, satellite sites. But right now we're in 70 outreach programs. We're in 4 school districts. We're in homeless shelters. We're working in battered women's shelters. We've worked in the past in Chalk Hospital. And we served 15,500 students just last year. So we have a lot of outreach programming that we're already doing. We're also working in prisons. Back in the 80s and 90s, there was a prison art program in every prison in the state, and it was really important in reducing recidivism. And that has been restarted last year, and we were one of the people tapped in the state to bring that back because my own personal history, I worked in that program when it was in prisons. And so last year we worked in 5 prisons. This year we're working in 2 different prisons, and we're helping the state bring back a prison art program as well. So we're kind of all over the place, but we're really serving our mission, which is bring the arts to North Orange County. And I know the prisons aren't necessarily in North Orange County, but the inmates are from here. Mm-hmm. So we're really trying to work to serve our mission, which back in 1965, when we founded, the idea was to be a regional cultural center, and we're still, 50 years later, the only regional cultural center for North Orange County. And one thing I think people don't realize is that Orange County has an average income of about $85,000 a year for a family of 3. But in North Orange County, between the South Fullerton, where the railroad tracks are, down to Santa Ana, that area there, the average income is $28,000 for a family of 5. It's a huge disparity. And unlike LA, that has very similar demographics, they have all kinds of programs for people who are on the lower end of the socioeconomic spectrum. But here in Orange County, we don't have those kinds of resources and programs. And a lot of the money stays in South County. It doesn't trickle up to North County. So it's what we do, we feel is very important because we're the only people providing arts in an outreach way like this in North Orange County.
How have you inspired others to get involved with the community?
We have 643 volunteers at the Muckenthaler last year. We have seniors who volunteer. We have a car show that provides funding for us every year. There's a whole group of people that volunteer in the car show. And then we do about 60 interns a year from 7 colleges. And the largest group of those come from Cal State Fullerton. We have interns working in our marketing department. Every single piece of merchandise and flyers and brochures that comes out of the Muckenthaler is designed by students. And they get real world experience. We have interns that help write our grants. We teach them grant writing. We have interns in our offices, in our databases, in our classrooms. And a lot of our staff and teachers started off as students and are now working for us. We have 17 staff and 30 teachers. And I think all but 2 of our staff start as interns.
What do you feel is the most fulfilling aspect of what you do in the community?
What I personally love about what we do is because there's such a need here, and it's such an understated and not addressed need of the arts in North Orange County, with this population that really has a lot of needs that aren't being met. And I love that we're a catalyst to do that. And the other part of it is that we partner with about 65 other nonprofits to address these needs. So we're really part of a holistic approach to bringing not just the arts but services to the underserved in North Orange County. And what's great is because there's such a need here, organizations are very good about working together. And I'll give you an example of that. 3 years ago, I came up with the idea to start a quinceañera for all the girls who are in our shelters that we work with, because we work in a lot of shelter programs, and a lot of these girls who are primarily Latino but also African American, they don't get a quinceañera, and their friends do because they go to mainstream schools. So it's a big deal for them, and they've never had that experience. So we decided to put it together, and we're working with 8 different shelters now to do a group quinceañera for both Placentia and Fullerton. We do it at the Muckenthaler. They get to come to this big mansion. They get dresses donated to them. They have tiaras. They get hair and makeup by a local salon. Everything is donated. No money changes hands. Colette's Catering, who is our caterer for our weddings, they cater the event free of charge. And we get a donation for the food costs. And everything else is just services that are donated. There's a ballet folklorico that teaches them a dance. There's a hip-hop group that teaches them a dance. And it's not just Latino girls. It's African-American girls, Caucasian girls, Asian girls. Anybody who's in the shelter gets to do this if they're of quinceañera age. So if they're 15, 16, 17 years old, they didn't get a quinceañera, they get to do this. And we do 25 girls every year. And it's amazing to see their faces. A lot of them have never had a chance to get dressed up in their life. They get etiquette lessons, so they learn how to use the right silverware. And all those are really important lessons for life. And so they're not treated like shelter girls that are, thrown away. They're treated like valuable, important, contributing people of society that are getting their coming out party. And it's, I get goosebumps thinking about it because I see the looks on their faces, and it's everything to them. I mean, it's a paradigm shifting experience for them because they're no longer the little girl who, was getting in trouble or in gangs or pregnant or whatever. They're now a young lady, and they're treated that way for that night, and it's a really important thing.
Also seems like it allows a lot of people to get involved too. You said all the beauty and catering and stuff, so it seems like the community really comes together for that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of volunteers on our committee, and it's one of the most interesting committees that we have because it's all different agencies that sometimes compete for grants, and sometimes we have to compete with each other. But in this case, everybody works together. Everybody is coming up with whatever's needed to happen. We needed flowers. Somebody, found flowers. Seroptimus Club donated money for the flowers, and we were able to get that done. We needed tiaras. Somebody donated the tiaras, went and got them in LA. I mean, it was just everybody comes together, and it's really one of the most magical committees that I serve on because we're all in different agencies, but we work like a team for that event.
So what would you say to those that want to get involved?
If anybody wants to get involved in any of the things that I'm speaking about, there's several ways you can do it. You can just come to the Muckenthaler and volunteer. We call it the Muck. We affectionately refer to it as the Muck because it's a lot easier to say than Muckenthaler. Our website is themuck.org. You can go online, you can come in, you can call, and you can just volunteer. The other thing is that here on this campus, there's a very vibrant Rotaract Club, which is the college version of Rotary Club. I'm the youth chair of our Rotary Club, and sorry, I touched my mic there. I'm the youth chair of our Rotary Club, and we are very involved with that Rotaract Club on campus. They volunteer a lot, so you can join the Rotaract Club. They do a lot of great community service from the Cal State community to the outside community. Don Lau is the president of that club. He's here on campus, student. That's another way you can do it. You can apply for an internship at the Muck, and as I said, we have internships in about 7 or 8 different fields. So you can be an event intern and help out with events. You can be an administrative intern. You can be an arts teacher assistant. You can work in our marketing department. You can do design. There's all kinds of different ways that you can help out as an intern. Those are unpaid internships, but they're very specific because they're for college credit. And a lot of those end up leading to jobs either with us or with our partners. So I can tell you that more than 20 people have gotten employed because of interning with us. So there's a lot of different ways that people can help. We have a car show. You can be involved in our car show committee if you're into cars. We have a gala committee for our big gala. We work with NCL, National Charity League. We work with a lot of other volunteer groups, church groups. So there's lots of different ways you can help. But I would say even if you're not interested in the arts or interested in the Muckenthaler, please get involved in the community in some way, shape, or form. I think the way to be happy in life, the secret to happiness is service. If you serve other people, it makes you happy. And like I said, Rotaract here on campus is a great way to serve. There are other service groups. There's Circle K. There's other service groups on campus. I'm affiliated with Rotaract, so I push them. But just get involved with anyone that does community service, and you'll not regret it. It's a great way to expand your life. And whatever you give, I always have gotten back tenfold. So,
what final words of advice would you like to leave the students with?
Just that. Everybody has a skill. Everybody has a superpower. Figure out what yours is, and then offer it up for help, And if you don't know what your superpower is, then experiment. Intern here, intern there, volunteer here, volunteer there until you find it, And there's lots of opportunities to do things that you're interested in and figure out what it is. I know when I was in my 20s, it took me a while to figure out what I was going to do because I was in about 5 different directions. And the thing that I excelled at is what I ended up doing. I was a breakdancer, and I became a professional breakdancer for 12 years. But the whole time I was doing that, I was also working in the community, trying to give back, and then that became my ultimate goal. And that has served me well. I've never had a bad day, and I've never had a day of work since I was 17 years old. So it's always been good for me.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun. It looks like that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Zoot, for coming in and sharing all of the wonderful things that you do for the community. It was great having you.
Thank you. Come by and visit the Teen Center or the Muck anytime.
I'm Amanda Mrozek. Join us next time for the next edition of the In Focus.